Hello and welcome to Balham Parkway 00 gauge layout, the extension project, part 12. Okay, just show you what I've been doing here on the cement works plant. I've actually covered over where the rails are this concrete in effect. I don't know what you call it, there's a name for this, and I failed to find it on the internet. Obviously it's so you could drive vehicles over the rails and yet have trains coming through, so basically the vehicles don't get trapped on the rails, so it's accessible to vehicles, etc. There's quite a large area I've covered here, and I've used balsa wood, quite a bit of it actually, to work on this. I mean, I've had to cut this out very finely in between the rails so you get the width of the flange of the train going through there, and it works perfectly. Had a few attempts and I had to adjust little things, but this is coming out really well. Now I'm at the stage now, I've put the balsa wood down, which I had to tack and glue, and I pulled the tacks out so it doesn't look a mess, and it's really worked well. I've actually weathered the rails as well before I did that with a rusty colour, an earthy colour. But I've used quite a large section there so vehicles can drive around. I'm quite sure with it already actually, it's coming on really well. I've used filler for where there are little mistakes like here, and I've rubbed that down. What I actually found though is that if you put little bits of filler on there, if you look at the real covering, there's little bits that are starting to crack away or come away. And I'm going to leave these. That's where I've spilt filler, but I've actually rubbed it down. I think when it's painted, that will have a good effect, as if the concrete's coming away in certain areas with age, as it does. So I'm going to leave that, and at the edge here I've just done a runoff for where the vehicles can go into a sort of rough area if they need be. I say I've got to paint this. I'll do this on the video as well. It's going to be painted and weathered. But at the moment I've just used balsa wood, cut it out in the middle here of the track, very excuse me, very carefully on both these sections here. So you've got quite a big section that is actually covering. Just point this out as well, where the joins on the rail, I've put these false like a cosmetic bolt cover. I don't know what you call this, where the bolts the rails together. I mean, it looks quite well, that actually makes it more realistic where it's all bolted together, the rails. So I've been weathering the track. So basically what I've got here, got a siding going up here which may go into a sort of a shed at one stage. You've got a returning loop here where the loco comes through the just move that a bit, it's not in place properly yet, to the hopper distribution. Take the loco off and it does a double loop, if you like, back down here, so you can link onto the hoppers if the train needs to go out that way, so you can take the train out. So basically you've got a returning loop down there which I've plated over. As again, if you can tell me what this is called, that'd be great. So I'm going on to the painting stage and I'll show you what it's done when I've spray painted this. Okay, I've now painted the hard standing area, if you want to call it that, with a grey colour, which is by Tamiya, and it's the light grey US Air Force colour, number AS16. The same colour I've used for the tower, the chimney stack, and the silos. I've done the first stage of weathering. Hopefully this camera can pick it up. I've used Woodland Scenics concrete top colour, which is from the road pack that someone gave me. And this has picked out certain areas where the concrete's starting to break up. And I've just rubbed that in basically, and it seems to have worked really well. So you've got various patches like here where it's coming away from the actual base area. So it just gives that extra effect. So now I'm just going to weather it with a black colour to get the dirt effects on here. The worn, tired looking concrete that's been there for a while, that has the worst for wear. Okay, I've virtually finished the weathering side now. So basically what I've done, I've used a black colour for the oil stains and toning down the actual concrete itself. So where the lines are in between, obviously, the locomotives and rolling stocks with leak oil on the hard standing area, so I've toned that down to quite a dark colour, and I've toned the whole lot down with a black colour as well, and I've reintroduced various different tones. So you've got a concrete surface colour, slightly different to the one I sprayed, and some browns in there. So basically where the concrete's breaking up through the weather, etc. It's been weathered through the years, quite old concrete. I've just used that to tone it down, and it's come up quite well. So it's a bit of an art form really to get this right, but I'm quite pleased with that now. So it's coming on quite well. Okay, the more or less final stage we've done here is put some weeds and a little bit of grass here, static grass, to cover the cracks. So basically the hard standing area where it's been neglected, not looked after, it's split and you've got all these weeds growing out. So I didn't want to go over the top with this, but it's added that extra dimension to the hard standing area. So where it's not being looked after, concrete split, out come the weeds as usual. So I put a few in down here. So where it's deteriorated, not looked after, I'll put the weeds, and it just finishes it off quite nicely. I've not put too many on that side, that's where the road's going to come across. So there'll be traffic constantly going up and down there. This bit here, not used much, so overgrown slightly. I quite like that actually. Took a bit of time to do it, but it just finishes that off quite well. So, without further ado, let's see a train go through here. Okay, the next stage now is to ballast the rails here. which will be on my next video. So where the hopper is here, this is going to be positioned properly, and the other side's got to be ballasted as well. And the other things I'm going to do here, put lights inside the buildings and just work on the little parking areas and grass verges, things like that. So quite a bit of work to do, but I hope you enjoy this video and it's helped you along with your modelling. And I've enjoyed making this. It's been a good little project over a few weeks it's taken in the summer months. So little bits here and there, but it's finally been achieved, the hard standing area. So thanks for watching.